Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting me from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. Wherever you are connecting from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from America, or from Australia. I thank you very much. And each time you watch my video, go to the comment section. Make your own opinion, add your own contribution on the comment section. Whatever you feel about what you've just watched, write it on the comment section. If you have any contribution to make, put it down there. If you have any criticism, put it there down there. I will watch it and I will respond to you. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, I come here every day to talk about the situation of the contraption called Nigeria. Talk about the occupation of Biafra land and the occupation of Oduduwa land. Talk about all the intimidation that is happening against us. We said no to that. We do not have to be silent. It doesn't matter how many people they hold. It doesn't matter how many people they try to stop. We will continue to carry on message. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has done a great job by giving us a voice. And not now. This is not the time to be silent. This is time to speak more. It's time to use your platform to speak more. Speak more and call for the immediate release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Preach the innocence of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He is very innocent. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is innocent of every charge that's been charged against him. You see them peddling lies on the media. Peddling lies. Every now and again, when they come to their media to talk about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they talk about jumping bail. When you and I know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail at any point in time. Instead, the government of Nigeria detained Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for 2 years, illegal, without any trial. Illegally, without any trial. Even when the court ordered for his immediate unconditional release, they refused to release him. Until our able lawyer mounted more pressure and pressure and pressure, then they released Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu came out from prison while he was preparing to go back to court. He even said on his broker that he was going back to court with 1 million men to march with him to the court, showing you that he was getting ready to go to the court. He wasn't running away. After that broadcast, 4 days to the court, the military went to his house to invade his house, to kill him. In the process, they killed 28 people and they killed the dog, Jack. This was what happened. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, through the grace of Chukwu Abiyama, escaped. He wasn't captured, he wasn't killed. And since then, he has been on safety, safeguarding himself until at the point when they have used extraordinary rendition to bring him back to Nigeria. The world is watching, the world is listening. That is why you have to add your voice. Don't allow them to change the story. This is exactly what transpired. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail. It is just the same way as they are pursuing Sunday Igboho now. They went to Sunday Igboho house, destroyed his property, and killed 2 innocent people without inviting him in any place for the first time. They never invited him. They just jumped into his house to kill him without invitation. And tomorrow they will be carrying their propaganda saying that Sunday Igboho is wanted. Sunday Igboho has been declared wanted and he's escaping. This is what they are pushing. Sunday Igboho have escaped. Sunday Igboho is declared wanted. That's the only message you hear in the media, declared wanted. They are not saying the actual thing that this man's house was raided by the DSS. Without inviting him, they went to his house to kill him, and in the process, people were killed. Instead, they came out to frame him up with all manner of ammunition and weapons, laying down that they fought, they shot one military man in the hand. Blatant lies. Very clear lies. When you look at them, you see the lies, you see the traces of the lies. They came for Igboho. Thank God Igboho escaped. You don't know whom they are going to come for next. That is why when things happen, you don't have to be silent. You have to speak up. When they came for IPOB, nobody was talking. They felt it was okay. They killed and killed and killed as many as possible. Nobody was talking. They came after Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody was talking. Now they have extended it to south, the whole southern part of Nigeria, which we all know that has been always been their target. Southern part of Nigeria has always been their target. They are targeting south to take the land and hand over to the Fulanis. This is a plan they have made from their great-grandfather. Usman Danfodio, he was the one that started this very grand plan to take the land of Nigeria as that of Fulanis. He wanted to destroy as many indigenous people as possible, the way he has taken over the Hausas. And they are still carrying that plan till tomorrow. You can see recently, all of a sudden, our southern governors begin to come back to their senses little by little. They came together and begin to hold a meeting together, begin to march in a one front. And since then, all hell break loose. When you listen to the Northerners talking in the media this time around, you will see rage in them. You will see arrogance in them. You see anger. Why must the Southern people come together and talk? Why must the Southerners hold their meeting? Meanwhile, these are people who have been holding their meeting. These Northern people, remember before Buhari came to power, these Northerners, Northern governors came together. They went all the way to United States to go and meet Obama. Yes, they went all the way to United States to go and meet Obama. Held a meeting with Obama to remove Jonathan. No, nobody said anything. Nobody fought them. But today, just because the Southern governors are coming together to do the needful, what are they doing? They are asking for what is responsible. They are asking for a way out. And they came out together, knowing fully well that even the North themselves recognize that the problem of that very contraption called Nigeria is the open grazing. That is what is giving the Fulani Janjaweeds the access to go and destroy farms and kill people. Southern governors came together and banned the open grazing. All hell break loose. They used their Attorney General to come out and talk all sort of trash. As if it wasn't enough, their president, Muhammad Buhari, the chief terrorist, came out in a media chat and he said that he still support on open grazing. He's still talking about talking about grazing route. Talking about grazing route, that the grazing route will be established so that talking about grazing route in this 21st century. Buhari supporting grazing route. That means everything the Southern governors is saying is trash. And for the record, there has never been any grazing route in the southern part of Nigeria. Go and check it up. There has never been any. But they want to create it by force. They ask for Ruga. We told them we are not interested in the Ruga. They came with their livestock. We are not interested. They are pushing it by force. Now they are using their terrorists to come and infiltrate everywhere, pushing their terrorists with their weapon to kill as many people as possible and occupy land by force. And the southeastern governors realize that and are coming together to fight against this. Now all hell break loose. You see all the northern elite from all angles throwing their bombs, throwing their ammunition, speaking with anger, with rage, all manner of things. Because the southerners decided to protect themselves against destruction. When you hear them speak, you'll be wondering.
I think the coming together of the governors of the southern extraction, to me, believe you me, is the very wrong way to go about issues of politics that affects the whole nation. Because the message here, unfortunately, is like ganging up against the rest of the Nigerians, particularly the North, by state actors who should be the ones that will protect and advance the unity of this country and ensure that all the parts of this country will feel comfortable by whoever end of the day will emerge as the president of this country. But if you go the way you are going and you have all the things listed in the communique or in their meeting, it seems to be a kind of ganging up against the North. When you look at the grazing, you look at the insecurity, you look at the issue of politics 2023, how can we have elected officials, governors for that matter, coming out in this manner to emphasize things that divide us, not talking about things that unite the country? I mean, it beats my imagination. And it's unfortunate that we don't have governors today coming together on issues of principle, that maybe that we are progressives or we want a progressive government in this country, or we belong to a particular ideological leaning and therefore we want to entrench that kind of politics in the country. But what we are hearing is that it's like these governors are not anything better than Iboho or Kanu or any person that is not elected to protect the nation. So I'm disappointed, really, to say the least, because by now, we shouldn't be talking about these dichotomies that have nothing to do with good governance. You talk about North, you talk about religion, you talk about where you come from, and you are talking about fairness. I think we are getting it wrong. And the earlier these governors wake up to their responsibilities of ensuring that this country becomes stronger as one indissoluble, and one united country, the better for everybody. The way they are going will even kind of scare the North. And the North, don't forget that the North, in fact, controls, the largest chunk of the vote that you want to use to become the president of this country. Except if they are talking about president of Southern Nigeria, not the president of Nigeria. You must act in a way that somebody can entrust his future, his affairs in your hands. But the way these Southerners, the governors in particular, are going, is not in any way in tandem with the intention of the founding fathers of this country. And if you look at what I think most of Nigerians, particularly the Northerners, will take from this, is that we are out against you, and we want to make sure that we will retaliate, whatever you have been doing to us, which perhaps, nobody in the North really intends anything bad, for the country. In fact, insecurity they are talking about, who is the worst, who is suffering, the worst scenario of insecurity in this country? It is the North. Who is suffering the worst case of poverty? It is the North. Who is suffering the worst case of unemployment? It is the North. So what for God's sake are you saying in that case? So please, let us behave as responsible state actors that are elected on the basis of advancing the unity of this country, not on the basis of dividing this country between the South and North. So 23 years, everybody knows that. In fact, Sean, when you talk about fairness, and you look at the zones, North Central, where I come from, has not been given chance in this country to head the country in a civilian administration. All we have had, maybe from North Central, and everybody has had it, is a military junta. And the military junta are just people who they don't even consult anybody, before they emerge. Yeah. So don't talk about fairness. When you talk about fairness, North Central should be given the opportunity to rule this country come 2023. So let us talk about how to unite this country. How to advance
the reason why I'm asking you this question is because you're a politician, and this conversation, politicians have this kind of conversation. I remember at the twilight of President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, the conversation of where next the president should go came up. Even when President Goodluck Jonathan was in office, this conversation also came up. Where should it go? And I remember vividly that northern politicians clamor that power should return to the North. So why do you think it's going to make the North uncomfortable when, if you count the years, and after President Buhari leaves office, it would have been 8 years of a northerner, and there is this arrangement, an unsigned agreement within the political class that the power should be rotated, especially the PDP, be rotated between the North and the South.
The worst violators of the agreement you're talking about is even the southern, part of the country. When Jonathan was supposed to do only 4 years of his administration, when Yar'Adua passed away, why did he not stop at 4 years? Why did he go another 2 years and even wanted to have a third term? And the Southerners want to load it over the North so that, now they're telling us that it is 8 years of Buhari, so after 8 years of Buhari, it must come. Constitutionally, it's even under PDP, it's supposed to be 8 years of President Obasanjo, and after that, North was to have 8 years. North didn't have the 8 years. So when you are talking about fairness, why don't we be fair with ourselves when we are talking? So don't talk about fairness here. Talk about how do we unite this country? How do we ensure that we have a president that can deliver, for the people of this country? Where is the masses in all these discussions we're talking about? That the North, that it is now the southern part that will have the chance to rule the country.
There is another issue.
Talk about the masses.
Yeah, there's another issue that is very critical. So the southern governors had said that come 1st of September 2021, they set it as a deadline for the promulgation of the anti-open grazing law in all the 17 states of the South in Nigeria. What's your take on that?
This is unfortunate, Sean, because we had, like I said, state actors, governors for that matter, giving ultimatum to a president, and you want to have peace in the country. You don't give ultimatum, for God's sake. You don't gang up against your president. You don't, because they know that the president has come out with a policy on grazing. Why can't you go back into your rooms? I mean, into political parties or some caucuses. Or
Engineer Yabagisani, is this a gang up? Apologies, please. Is this a gang up against the president? Because I didn't see the name of the president here. The solution of the southern governors is against the bandits and against the killer herders who they say are moving with weapons. And their solution is that there should be no to open grazing. That is their own solution. Right. And why would you say it's a gang up against the president?
Nobody supports, terrorism, because I even look at it as terrorists. People who are carrying, guns without license or without the authorities giving you the permission to do that. But the point I'm making is that everybody in this country and all over the world knows that Mr. President has come out very strongly behind the issue of open grazing. So why should state actors that are supposed to be in the same party with him, that are supposed to protect the interests of this country, now come out and give ultimatum, to the country, which is headed by a northerner? So this is wrong. This is the wrong way to run this country. Please.
All right. So let me. And thinking, okay.
And then knowing that they are not representing, even though.
Let me bring back Mr. Falana into the conversation.
That is where we have found ourselves. You see the kind of anger this man is speaking with. Saying all manner of trash. If you talk about the terrorism, they are the one that planted the terrorism. They created the Boko Haram. They created the Boko Haram. Boko Haram is fighting against them. The ISWAP, they are the one that created it. The bandits, they are the one that created it. And they are the one feeding it. They are the one defending all these terrorists. In the national television, they come out and defend it. But now they blame the South for all the problems. They want to push it down to the South. When you offer solution, they say you don't have any right to speak. And you still want us to be part of this very destruction? The southern governors are even weak. They are even weak. They are not acting as bold as they're supposed to act. They are not acting as bold as they're supposed to act. They are so weak. I wish they can be stronger. I wish they can be stronger. There is another one about the petroleum bill that they passed. The petroleum bill they passed. If you could remember, there was a video I shared here where Northerners, we are demanding that they have to create something like NNDCs for them. That if the South continue to make a trouble, that they have to create an NNDC, that it was with their granite oil, their granite money that they build refineries. If you remember that video, do you know that that request they made of that video have been implemented? That request have been implemented through their oil, their petroleum bill that they've just passed. In petroleum bill, they have slashed the percentage that is going to the Niger Delta. They started into 2, and they gave to some percentage to some northern states. Northern states, I don't know what they call them. They gave them a certain name. They gave them some percentage. Some northern states. This is for some of our brothers who say they are from Niger Delta. It is time you begin to stop deceiving yourself. Stop deceiving yourself with all those names they are giving you. Because the name they are giving you is to divide you. It is not to favor you. It is not to do anything good for you. It is not to make you to get your right. The name they are giving you is to divide you and remove you from your brother so they cannot fight effectively to get that which belongs to you. The people who are in the riverine area have the right to control their resources by themselves. And that is what the Biafrans are fighting for. As soon as Biafra is actualized, every region will manage their own resources by themselves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it so many times. I do not know why people allow this propaganda to continue. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has made, in my next video, I will try to bring that video where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talked about the way Biafra will be structured. I will research for the video and play it. He said, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it, that every region will be on their own, will be a nation of their own, control their own resources. Those people now that they are calling Niger Delta, that is the only time, it's only in Biafra that you can be able to control your resources without anybody pushing you around. Look at what they are doing with their petroleum bill now. And the funny thing that there are people representing you over there. The governors came out and said that they do not agree. The southern governors said they do not agree with that petroleum bill. But these southern governors have appointed people in that House of Assembly. They have appointed people in the House of Representatives. Where were they when this bill was passed? When first reading, second reading, third reading? Does it mean that they did not see what was written in that bill before they passed it? Ask yourself. There are people representing the southern part of Nigeria in the Senate. But still, this bill was passed and they were there sitting. They saw it. They saw everything that was written, only for the governors to raise alarm and say they do not agree. That is why we are telling you that when they talk about election or tell you to go to the House of Assembly and do that, it is all game. It is all game. They are not there for you. They are there for their selfish interest. And the Janjaweed know how to buy them. They are the one that put them there, and they will always play to their hand. They always play to their hand. Stop asking for one Nigeria. The best thing to ask is break up. Break up so you can have a nation that you can find responsible people. A nation where you can have people who have their own people at heart, who can fight for you and I. But for now, what we have is not a nation. We have no home. We have nobody to speak for us. We have no representative, including the governors. In as much as they are coming out to make some speech, they are not strong enough to defend you and I. They are not making a good case for you and I. Watch this petroleum bill that was passed. They are going to allow it to flow. Where we are the representative when this bill was passed, only for the governor to see it and begin to shout. And those of our brothers who are in Niger Delta talking about it, look at it, they have slashed it. They are now treating some part of northern states as Niger Deltas, giving them some allowances, just the same way they are giving other people, like people from the Niger Delta. They slash the merit of the Niger Delta and give to the north. And you are still there calling yourself a Niger Delta. Even since then, I've never had anybody from any Niger Delta say anything or protest about it. But when it comes to the Biafra, in Biafra, where you can be able to control your resources 100%, you come against it just simply because you hate an Igbo man or simply because you don't like the person that is talking about it. Why don't we put all our differences aside and pursue this victory? Get the victory. When we get the victory, we will come back home then now. Everybody will relax on his own side. Take your resources and do what you want to do with it. The most important thing now is victory. That is why, even as why the governors are doing whatever they're doing, we the masses, the southern part of Nigeria, have to unite together. More especially in this coming protest, come out in March to protest for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the freedom of Igbo. It's a massive protest. Wherever you are in diaspora, join. Wherever you are in diaspora, join the protest. Once the date is out, I'm going to share it, but prepare yourself for the protest. A massive protest. A protest that the whole world will shake. It is going to come. This is the time for you to speak up. It is not time to be silent anymore. It is not time to be silent because it's not well. It is getting worse, and it will get worse. It will get worse more. That is why you have to speak up. Let people hear our voice. Share this video to everybody who needs to see the video. Share it to all angles, all corners, all places where you belong. Share it. Let the video go viral. Let people hear our voice. Don't allow them to hijack the story. We do not have access to the conventional media. We don't have access to any international media. But the social media is ruling the 21st century. That is why we don't have to keep silent. Come out the more. Come out more than you have ever done. Speak up. Use your platform, no matter how big, how small. Share your video. People will share it and people will see it and hear our own opinion. You never can tell who the video will fall into his hand. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu more strength wherever he is. May Chukwu Abiyama grant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speedy healing. May Chukwu Abiyama grant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu safety. May Chukwu Abiyama protect Sunday Igboho wherever he is. May Chukwu Abiyama protect Sunday Igboho, protect the Oduduwans wherever they are. Protect everyone that is fighting for freedom, that country called Nigeria. May Chukwu Abiyama protect you and keep us safe. Thank you so much for watching and remember this. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.